So, Tracy, a complete home renovation can feel overwhelming for homeowners, especially when they're comparing contractors. Many worry about timelines, budgets, and whether the finished project will match their vision. What advice would you give to homeowners so they can confidently choose the right contractor for a major renovation?
Major renovations are really complex projects to start with, and it's always important, first of all, to choose somebody that has experience in that type of project. Remodels are filled with unknowns. Unless you built the house, have the original plans, photographs, that sort of thing, nearly unlimited surprises are lurking within the structure. And most contractors do a pretty good job of doing a little bit of a forensic examination on a structure and trying to figure out what it is. But interestingly enough, with remodels, a lot of times a home needs nothing, needs everything. And so each system that you touch or each finish makes another finish look old. And so defining a starting and stopping point is important. And then, of course, once again, it's just like in new home construction, you have to pick the elements that work within your budget and the amount of work that you're going to do. We go from kind of mild to wild in our renovations. We have some homes where we may just do kitchen, family room, some exterior improvements. And then we have some homes where we've stripped it down to the bare bones inside. We're changing the footprint of the structure, adding additional square footage, and essentially replacing every home within or every system within the home. You can only imagine that really all this saves is a little framing, maybe some concrete work, and some of the infrastructure, maybe a little of the landscaping. So that can get expensive in a hurry. Once again, it's all about the features. Do you want a $4,000 Milgard sliding patio door, or do you want a brand new Marvin pocket door system that can cost $30,000 or $40,000? And so that's the kind of decisions you make. Both of those things are functionally similar, but aesthetically they're very different. And so as you work through the specifications on a remodel, once again, it's very important to kind of be realistic about what that budget looks like. Remodels are inherently much more expensive than new construction if you're looking at a barometer like square footage cost. It's interesting when you dissect a home, a thing like a unfinished basement can be something that costs you $80 a square foot, where a really nice kitchen can cost you $2,000 a square foot. And that's once again because of the density of the expensive finish materials and that sort of thing. So we like to, of course, get an initial feeling of what a client's budget might be, and then through experience, we'll kind of give them a rough idea where they can go with that and what they should touch and what they shouldn't. Some things are just inherently so expensive that the net gain is not there. We like to help clients understand what return on investment looks like in these projects. Most of the time, if you go into an extremely dated house and you redo the kitchen and main living area, that's pretty good ROI. If you have an old home and you tell me you want an Olympic-sized swimming pool in the backyard, I can pretty much guarantee you that'll lose you money in the big picture. So once again, understanding those pieces to the puzzle, it's really important to work with somebody that, once again, just doesn't tell you what you want to hear. It seems a little bit like a card game. One of the first things we always ask our client is, what kind of budget do you have? It's no one wants to reveal those whole cards. They don't want to say, well, I have $100,000 and that's all I have, bottom line, because most people will magically come up with a budget.
Why do you think folks are so hesitant to reveal what their true budget is? Does that indicate a sense of distrust when they're dealing with quote contractors?
I think it's like in anything. It's like walking into a car dealership. You would never tell the car dealer what your budget was if you could help it. I think all of us hope for a great deal. And of course, it's our job to try to bring the best deal we can to our clients. But it's a little bit of that ballet. And without really knowing what the budget might be, it's really difficult for us to home in on what uh, type of things somebody should be using. We're doing a project now where essentially there's no real defined budget. The client just wants what they want, and they have the wherewithal to buy those things. And so we're just building what they want. Other clients with specifically defined budgets, we have to work within those guidelines. And
Well, I would imagine that custom home building isn't as much about getting a quote good deal as it is about getting really good value for the monies that are available.
it really is. There's really no free lunch in construction. And so trying to go out and talk to a handful of guys and picking the lowest bidder is almost a guarantee of a poor project. It happens repetitively, and we get calls quite often from folks that have gone down that road, and the results are disastrous. It's it just gets very expensive very fast when people that are not qualified to do things try to do them cheaply. It's like old gentleman told me one time, good ain't cheap and cheap ain't good.